No garden, no problem. Here's how I grow Pechay successfully in pots, containers, and raised beds. If you grow food at home or want to start, make sure you subscribe to Evergreen Garden right now and leave a comment telling me where you're growing from, because this channel is built for gardeners who want real results, not shortcuts. Pechay is one of the fastest, most forgiving leafy vegetables you can grow, and today I'm going straight into how I grow healthy, market-quality Pechay without a garden, using pots, containers, and raised beds that anyone can set up. Why Pechay is perfect for small spaces and serious growers alike. Pechay grows fast, matures in as little as 30 to 45 days, and does not need deep soil or large spacing to thrive. This makes it ideal for balconies, patios, rooftops, and compact backyards. But it also performs extremely well for growers who want consistent harvests. The shallow root system means you can focus on soil quality rather than depth, and Pechay responds immediately to good feeding, proper watering, and light management. When grown correctly, container-grown Pechay can be just as lush as field-grown crops. How I choose containers that actually support strong Pechay growth. For Pechay, container size matters more in width than depth. I use containers that are at least 20 to 25 centimeters deep and wide enough to allow proper spacing. A round 25-liter pot can comfortably grow 4 Pechay plants, while a rectangular container that is 60 centimeters long can handle 6 to 8 plants without crowding. Drainage holes are non-negotiable because Pechay roots rot quickly in waterlogged soil. Raised beds work just as well as containers as long as the bed depth is at least 20 centimeters and the soil drains freely. The exact soil mix I rely on for fast growth and clean leaves. Pechay demands loose, fertile soil that holds moisture without becoming compacted. My reliable mix uses a simple ratio of 2 parts garden soil, 1 part well-decomposed compost, and 1 part rice hulls, cocoa coir, or sand to improve drainage. If you are working strictly with containers, adding a handful of vermicast per pot boosts microbial activity and leaf color. This mix provides enough nutrients for the first 2 weeks, after which feeding becomes essential. Heavy clay soil should always be amended because compact soil leads to stunted growth and bitter leaves. So, here's how I plant Pechay seeds for even germination and, uniform harvests. I usually prefer to sow seeds directly into containers to avoid that pesky transplant shock. The seeds are placed about half a centimeter deep and spaced 5 centimeters apart initially. Once the seedlings reach about 7 to 10 centimeters tall, I thin them out to a final spacing of 15 centimeters between plants. The removed seedlings are actually edible, and honestly, they make excellent microgreens. If you prefer transplanting, you can sow seeds in a tray and move them when they have 2 true leaves, just making sure the root ball stays intact during the transfer. Now, let's talk about sunlight management, which really helps prevent leggy plants and that bitter taste nobody wants. Pechay thrives with 4 to 6 hours of direct sunlight daily. Morning sun is ideal because it promotes steady growth without stressing the plants too much. In very hot climates, too much afternoon sun can cause leaf burn and bitterness, which is definitely something to watch out for. I often use 30 to 40% shade cloth during peak heat, especially for container plants that heat up faster than ground soil. When growing on balconies or rooftops, rotating containers every few days ensures even light exposure and, balanced leaf development. Watering techniques are key to keeping Pechay crisp and disease-free. Consistent moisture is really the secret to tender Pechay. I water early in the morning, making sure the soil stays evenly moist, but never soggy. Containers usually need watering once a day in warm weather, and every 2 days in cooler conditions. A good test is to press your finger into the soil up to the first knuckle. If it feels dry, it's time to water. Uneven watering leads to tough leaves and premature bolting, especially during hot periods, so that's something to keep in mind. Feeding Pechay for maximum leaf size without chemical overload is really important. After about 2 weeks, Pechay actually benefits from regular feeding. I apply liquid organic fertilizer every 7 days using a diluted ratio of 1 tablespoon of fish amino acid or compost tea per litre of water. For gardeners who prefer granular organic fertilizer, a light top dressing every 2 weeks works well too. The goal here is a steady nitrogen supply, but without excess, because overfeeding can cause weak stems and pest problems. When leaves turn pale green, it's a clear sign that your feeding needs some adjustment. Pest prevention strategies that actually work in containers are, well, essential for healthy Pechay. Pechay grown in containers faces fewer pests, but aphids and flea beetles can still appear from time to time. I rely on neem oil spray at a ratio of 5 milliliters per litre of water, applied once a week as a preventive measure. Good airflow, proper spacing and clean containers reduce pest pressure dramatically. Removing damaged leaves early prevents infestations from spreading. And of course, healthy, well-fed Pechay is naturally more resistant to pests. Harvesting Pechay at the right time is key for tenderness and regrowth. You can harvest Pechay in 2 ways. For baby leaves, start cutting outer leaves at 25 days after planting, allowing the center to keep growing. For full heads, harvest the entire plant at 35 to 45 days by cutting at the base. When harvested early and regularly, Pechay produces sweeter, more tender leaves. Raised beds often allow for staggered planting every 2 weeks, ensuring a continuous harvest. Why growing Pechay without a garden is not a limitation. Growing Pechay in pots, containers and raised beds gives you control over soil, water and nutrients that open-ground gardening often lacks. With the right setup, small space growers can harvest cleaner, faster and more consistent crops than traditional garden beds. This method is scalable, reliable and perfect for anyone serious about food production, regardless of space. If this guide helped you, subscribe to Evergreen Garden, share this video with another gardener, and leave a comment with your growing setup or questions. Your support helps this channel continue delivering practical, proven gardening knowledge that works anywhere, anytime.